I want to tell y'all something what's real. Like this brand I'm building, our speaking brand, the way it's building, I want to take you on a journey. I want to take you on a journey. I was sharing with my partner, my business partner, Damien. I was sharing with D. I said, man, I'm so grateful to God. Think about how far we come, how far we started. When we first started this thing, man, like it was a struggle. Like if you talk to any one of us, if you see us out here and you say, man, how did y'all do it? Like, it's going great. I see y'all doing some great things. It was a struggle. We went from zero. We serve a God that is able and more than capable of doing what man would call the impossible. We serve a God that is more than able and capable to do what man would say, and what man would say that's impossible. Look, it's coming to a period in time in your life where it's crucial, where you gotta eliminate all distractions, eliminate all the naysayers, eliminate all excuses. Excuses are tools of the incompetent that builds monuments to nothingness. And those who seldomly vibe in them, they don't amount to nothing. Meaning, visions go unfulfilled, purpose goes to the grave. You gotta get into the habit of getting out your own way. You gotta get out the habit of getting out of your own way. Your mindset is your most precious jewel in this life. And just know that you're more than capable through the will of God that empowers you to use you and speak through you as a living, walking, talking vessel. You are more than capable. I hear it all the time. I can't amount to it. I can't do it. I can't fulfill it. It's out of my reach. It's not possible. You don't understand me. My life was rough. Let me tell you something. I've been through a lot of my life. I've been through a lot of my life. I've struggled. I went through pain. I had to endure a lot. I lived through life and death. I've been rejected. I've been neglected. I failed countless of times. But I never made an excuse for it. Because see, all those things, they was there to teach a lesson. And when you have an immature mindset, when you can't see it, when you can't fathom that type of level of pain or why you're going through, you can't fathom and see your breakthrough. So I had to change. I had to grow. But it wasn't an easy transition. Like I had to go through this pain, like I had to go through this process. I had to go through this molding, I had to go through this breaking. And I know what you're feeling. I know what you're thinking. You asking God why. But it's gotten to that point where you don't even know, you don't even want to ask God why. You don't even know how to ask God why. You want to just blame it on life. You want to blame it on other people. You want to say, okay, because these things are happening to me, it's everybody else's fault. But how about owning up to it and taking some accountability for it? Because see, we get so excited. Because this is where we fail to learn a lesson. We get so excited about the promises of God. We get so excited about the provisions and the visions of God. We get so excited about it. We dream, we hope. We get so excited about it when God show you like, man, this is what you're gonna be. This is the end result. This is a piece of the end. I just want to show you a peek into your future. I just want to show you a peek. Like, you get so excited when it's all good. When you didn't see that part. When you didn't see that part that was called the struggle. The hardships. The disappointments. The failures. The setbacks. See, when God didn't show you those lessons that you had to learn in order to get to your prosperity, you want to embrace all the good. And I'm going to tell you something. It's cool. It is so cool to get excited about the vision. It's cool to get excited about the dream. It's cool to get excited about the provision and the end result. But in your excitement and all your getting of being hyped up and feeling good about what's the end come, you got to be even more excited about the struggle. Because see, a lot of people don't expect that. You got to be more excited about the struggle. You got to be even more excited about the disappointments. You got to be even more excited about the failures and the setbacks. You got to be even more excited about life challenges. You got to be excited about getting sucker punched in your mouth. You got to be excited about it. And I know you probably think like, man, that's crazy. Nobody want to get excited about that, but you're wrong. You are wrong. I'm telling you are wrong. You got to get excited about the pain. Because it's in the pain that builds your prosperity. It's in the struggle is where you reach the top of the mountain. You get what I'm saying? Let that marinate on you. Let that meditate. Let that sit in your mind for a minute. You got to get excited about that. And you're like, how can you get excited about it? Because if God showed you the vision, and God gave you the plans and the tools, and God showed you the end result, or he showed you a peek of the end result, then you know what you're going through is temporarily. That's the key. That's your excitement. That's enough that should be able to drive you, keep you going. Because if he showed you all these great things and he showed you that this is going to be the end result, you can get excited about the temporary pain, that you're not going to be hurt forever. And then you should also get excited about the more I go through, the more I can put out to people. The more I can touch, the more I can heal, the more I can touch the masses. You should get excited about that. You should get excited about that. Because nobody wants to hear the story of the person that got everything. People want to hear the story of people who endured pain. How they made it through to the other side, to paradise. They want to hear those stories. They want to hear the rad to riches story. Oh, believe me. Because how can you help me get through something if you've been through nothing? You can't help me. How can you touch a life by waving and flashing your money or your fancy cars or your fancy jewelry or your nice wardrobes of shoes or whatever that abundance is for you? You can't take an average Joe person off the street and touch their lives and tell them, oh, I got it. This is good to me. But if you take a person to the side and you share your story, you share your pain, you share your struggle, and they see your success, they'll embrace that. They'll feed off of that. That'll change their life. Because it's not all about writing a check. It's about what you speak and the seed you plant that you made manifest. And a lot of people don't get that. They think it's all about them. They think about like when I get there. But how many people do you know, or you can count, or you can call off the top of your head, made it to the top by themselves? You're gonna need somebody. You're gonna have to get attached to the right thing. Because see, sometimes the prayers are immature. You go to God and say, God, I'm praying for my prosperity. I'm praying for my abundance. I'm praying for my growth. I'm praying for all these great things that you promised me that's desirable. And God said, cool, okay, I hear you. Got it. Signed, sealed, delivered. But then you pray to God and said, thank you for my struggle. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the breaking. Thank you for the molding. Thank you for the shaking. Thank you for pulling me back apart and putting me back the right way. See, let me tell you something about my life. Like, people think when they see me genuinely happy, they think I got everything. In a way, they right. But the way they thinking about it, going about it, and how they looking at it, they're wrong. Because some people like, man, you just the happiest thing that's out here. And they say, why are you so happy? First and foremost, I got it all in God. God is my one true source to infinite resources. So I'm never broke. Never. That's first and foremost. God is the only one true source. The avenue to many resources. Point blank, period. And number two, I learned to embrace my struggles. I learned to embrace the hardships of my life. I even learned to embrace me, the monster in the mirror. Because a lot of people don't know how to face themselves in the mirror. A lot of folks don't know how to see the boogeyman. A lot of folks are going to say, oh, that's the boogeyman, or that's the boogeyman, or this person the boogeyman. But when you look yourself in the mirror, can you say you the boogeyman? Can you really say you was the boogeyman? Because if you look yourself in the mirror and say you're not a boogeyman, you're lying to yourself. You're not perfect. You got things you need to change. You got things you need to work on. You got things you need to shed. You got some things that need to fall off. You got some things you need to let go of in order to reach your next level. Do you get what I'm saying? I had to embrace all that. I had to embrace the struggle. I had to embrace my hardships. I had to embrace being broke. I had to embrace not being able to pay the bills on time. I had to embrace either pay the power bill or go hungry. I had to embrace all that. That's the struggle. That's the struggle. That's the struggle. I had to embrace building a business and failing at it and going back to a 9-to-5 job. I had to embrace that. Because see, hardships humble you. They humble you. And then when you really think about it and you go out here and you see somebody out here on the street that don't even have a home, living on the bridge, sleeping under blankets and picking up dirty socks, you start looking at your life like, man, I really don't got it that bad. But let me tell you something about homeless people. A lot of people frown upon and look down on, right? Oh man, they just bumming me. They don't want to go out and work. They don't want to do this. That's judging. That's judging. Because do you know some of the brightest minds, some of the most intelligent people out here in the world that are homeless, for an example, are some of the most brilliant minds, beautiful people you would ever meet. But they just got tired, you know what I'm saying? At some point they got tired. It's not because they couldn't rebuild it and get it all again. Life happens. Life happens. And some people just don't know how to get back up from that. Period. But I'm telling you, they are some of the most strong, enduring people in the world. Because you think about it. If you see a homeless person on the street, in the harsh summers, they walking. They're walking everywhere. Walking. While a lot of us ride around here in average cars or luxury cars or whatever type of vehicle you own, we ride around here, we got AC. But they're walking with no shade, no umbrella, nothing to protect them from the heat rays of the sun or the harsh heat of the sun. The same thing for the winter. The winter can be brutal, cold, harsh, lonely, and they don't get sick. I hardly ever see them get sick. But they sleeping outside when it's storming and when it's raining, sleeping behind dumps and sleeping under bridges. And if you really look at some of the habits, you may say, man, I never want to be like that. But I guarantee them people use their mind more than probably the person who been in school for 10 years. Because they know how to survive. They use the elements of God's natural resources to protect and take care of themselves. They know how to survive. And that's just one example of it. I would never wish for nobody to be homeless or lose everything they got or lose everything they worked so hard to get. I would never wish that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is take a good look at your life. Take a good look at your life. Take a good look at the boogeyman. Take a good look at you. Really look on the inside of you and ask yourself, ponder that question, who am I? Because that's number 3, identity. Who are you? And really ponder that question. Don't give yourself a quick answer. Don't give yourself a quick fix. That's a drug. Don't get addicted to that. Don't give yourself a quick fix. Don't get addicted to that. That's a quick fix. Who am I? Who am I? Who are you? Who is Byron? Who am I? I had to ask myself that over and over and over. And I promise you guys, this ain't something I figured out in a few months. I had to really spend some time alone by myself. I had to spend some time with God. I had to really, really figure it out. Because see, sometimes people be like, I'm this and I'm that. But that's not who you are. You're attaching it to titles. What's behind your name? But shed yourself of all your titles and rankings or whatever pedestal you think you're on, and really ask yourself, who are you at the end of the day when there's nobody but you and God, because you can't lie to God. Ask yourself, who are you? Because you have to identify who you are with yourself. Your identity is in Christ Jesus because he knew you before the world began, and so long what would be hereafter. So he already knew you. The thing is, you got to be willing to accept the will of God, that that's who you are. And when you accept who you are, nothing in the world can break you, because that's just who you are. Identity is important, because if you don't know who you are, you're going to start imitating and mimicking everybody else, thinking you're them and you're not. And you're not going to have a sense of fulfillment, because that's not you. That's not you. If you are a person who loves the beauty of life, the aesthetics of life, you just love to just walk around and see God's beautiful wonders, but yet you over here imitating somebody who loves shoes or clothes, who idolize things because you're not comfortable with who you are because people talk about you, then guess what? You're gonna find yourself doing exactly what that person's doing, and you're not gonna have a sense of fulfillment because you're getting things. But if you do what you love to do, and you know what's on the inside of you, nothing in the world can break you, because that's who you are. Resonate with yourself. Identify who you are with yourself. That's point number 3. Asking yourself, who am I? Point number 4. What has God set out for me to do? Purpose, destiny, passion, drive, determination. What's gonna drive you? What's gonna get you to that home plate? What's gonna slide you from first base to home plate? Here's a quick key. Whatever sets your soul on fire, whatever sets your soul on fire, that's why I spoke about in my last video. That God didn't give you the spirit of fear, but God gave you the mindset to set fire. He gave you the spirit to set fire. So if that what sets your soul on fire, like me being out here, making a video, motivate people, uplift and inspire and transform the impact. Raise your words, not your voice. That's Byron. That's who I am. That's what I love to do. That's what sets my soul on fire. To help people transform and impact, inspire, uplift, grow, pull up. That's Byron. I love to do that. That will set my soul on fire, because that's what God put into me to speak. That's what he put into me. So you got to resonate. You got to resonate in God, purpose and destiny, where you're going. And finally, point number 5. Trusting God enough that he has equipped you with more than enough tools and the will to see it through. You gotta trust God enough. You gotta have enough faith to produce what God has placed into you to produce and make manifest in the earth. You got to trust God enough to see it through. Because it's gonna happen, y'all. I'm telling you, life is gonna happen. Life is gonna happen. And when life happens, if you don't get back up, I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna be a champion. I'm telling you that right now. Champions don't fall the first time they hit the canvas. They keep getting back up time and time and time and time and time and time again. They keep getting back up. And I'm telling you right now, when life hits you in the mouth, get back up. Stand back up. Stand back up. Trust God enough. Trust God enough that He got your back and He's not gonna let you fall. He's not gonna let you die. He's not gonna let you accept defeat. He's not gonna let you give up. Trust God enough to say, God, I trust you enough to see it through. See it through. And I'm gonna tell you something. Within that process, within that struggle, because that's what seeing it through is. You're gonna go through the struggle before you get the reward. And sometimes, God, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna feel a little lonely. It's gonna get a little lonely. Sometimes people who started with you gonna fall off. And it's okay. Don't hate that person. It's okay. It's just like a pilot that's transporting passengers on an airplane. As the pilot who's driving the airplane or who's steering the airplane, he knows at some point in time, if he's going all the way from Florida to New York, he knows somewhere in between that time, people are gonna get off the airplane. Not everybody's gonna go from Florida to New York. Some people are gonna get off. Some people are gonna hit a destination. Some people gonna be like, nah, this is the furthest I'm gonna go on this ride. I'm not gonna ride over to New York with you because I don't want to. I don't trust it that far. And that's cool. You're gonna lose some people. You're gonna lose some people, but you know, as the pilot knows, God already gave me the destination where I'm supposed to go. And if I gotta land that plane in that destination by myself, then so be it. Because when He lands in New York, guess what? Purpose is fulfilled. He has reached his final destination, New York City. Whether if he got 2 or 3 that took the journey with him, don't matter. It does not matter. So if you feel like the people that started with you and you feel like you're going to lose people in the balance or in the process, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. It's okay. You won't be a lone wolf forever. I promise you. I promise you. Speak enough life into people, and I guarantee you, the universe will open up to you. It will open up to you. Because see, you don't need 1 million people. I keep saying this, you don't need a vast amount of people. It starts with you. And the vision God gave, and your faith and your belief. Because once you tie all that together, purpose and destiny and influence fall in line. Because the people that's gonna hear you, they're gonna cling to your influence. Because they're gonna resonate with what you're saying. Because see, I'm out here, I'm being real. I'm being transparent. My life wasn't perfect. My life was far from perfect. I went through a lot of stuff, man. I went through a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff was unspoken about. A lot of stuff that happened to me in between times while I was on this journey. And I'm not talking about building no business. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about from my birthright to the age of 33. Right now, like I've been through a lot of stuff, man. But I'm so transparent with my life because I know within my struggle, within my transparency, I got the keys to transform somebody else's life. I got the key to help and impact and change somebody else's life. So if you trusted God enough to see it through, and if you know that because of your struggle and things you went through, and you got the power to heal someone else, why would you be selfish with that? Why? Ask yourself, why? And the first thing people say, well, I'm not ready to talk about it. But here's the answer I regurgitate. When people say I'm not ready to talk about it, and I understand that because people are in different areas and phases of their life. So I do understand it, and I respect that. But here's the thing. This is what I leave them with. Instead of saying, you know what, you should never share that because that's embarrassing. No, I'm never going to tell you that. What I tell you is, when you stop being ashamed and embarrassed of what you've been through in your life and your struggles, I guarantee you that's when you'll tell your story. because you know your story got a higher purpose. God don't put you in the struggle to break you and to hurt you and to beat you down. No, God put you in the struggle because He has a bigger plan for the story, that you gotta go somewhere. You gotta go impact somebody. You gotta go impact territory. You get what I'm saying? You gotta go impact territory. You're not gonna go through rape and molestation to cower down and slit your wrist and slit your throat. You're not gonna do that. You went through that to show other young men and young women who's been through that or who has went through that in their life. And you know, God forbid it happens to anybody, but it does happen, who been through that in their life. And you got the key to speak life into them because you made it through on the other side and they see the life you living now. But you need to go back and don't forget where you came from, because God brought you from a place of struggle to a place of prosperity. And then He wants you to share that story to pull somebody else up, because you never know where they at in their mind and where they on the verge of the brink of death, or they thinking about harming themselves because they feel like I'm the only one that been out here, nobody understands. So you should be selfish with that story. That's why the struggle is so much more important. See, people think it's the money. People think it's the things I get. People think it's about the wealth. It's not about the wealth. The struggle is the most important part of the process. The struggle. I'm on that. I'm like on this really hard right now because people really don't get it. The struggle is the most important part of the process, because it's within the struggle. When you go through the struggle and when you come out, or you start to come out of, I'm telling you, man, you'll be surprised at how many people you can pull up by sharing your story. Like, come on. Like when I say I live through life and death, I'm gonna just give a quick synopsis of it. That's why I said, thank you, God, you're so good. Because I mean, you're better than good, because you never stop being good. You're awesome, you're great, you're amazing. But I got shot when I was 17. Wasn't doing anything bad. Just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Just trying to hang out. As a 17-year-old teenager, I got shot in the neck, fatally 3 times, chest blown open, 98 steel staples in my chest. Like, come on, man. I got to see God face to face. I got to have this conversation, and He got to love on me and baptize me with fire. But see, if I never shared that story of somebody who got shot, who want to go out here and retaliate on the person who shot him, but if I never shared my story, how God changed the world through love, and that person go out and do something crazy, that blood is on my hand, I should feel bad for that. But because I went through that experience and I got that experience, and then God showed me a better way, because I never had in my heart, even when I got shot, I never had it in my heart to go out, if I lived through, to go retaliate. I never had that in my heart. That ain't the type of heart I had. God knew if I trust my lamb to go ahead and get slain and use innocent blood to shape the world, I know if this happened to him, he ain't gonna come back with hate saying, I want to get the guy that shot me. He gonna go out here and share the story to impact somebody, pull him up and show him some love. Because I'm telling you, if you say we live in a world of hate, then that lets you know right there, you need to do the opposite of hate. You need to love. And that's just a quick part of the story. I mean, I left out a whole lot of detail, but I just want to let you know within that struggle, because see, I was dying. At 17, I did die. I got to see God. That's a testimony in heaven. I got to see it. So I know if God let me see heaven, I know hell is for real. No ifs and buts about it. No doubts in my heart. But I'm just saying, like, I'm telling you why your struggle is so important. Your struggle is different. It may be different from the next person, but if you go through something so traumatic, it ain't even gotta be that traumatic, but if you go through something, anything in your life, if you go through something, anything in your life, I'm telling you, share with other people. Share it with the world. Love it, live it, speak it, because the world definitely needs it. I'm telling y'all, embrace the struggle. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's temporary pain for a longevity of prosperity, a lifetime of prosperity. You gotta go through it and be grateful. Be grateful where you at. Don't look at it like, man, I go to work every day, I make a check, and then I pay bills and I'm broke again. But when you go home, you got a meal to eat and you got a roof over your head. You still got a car to drive that's working and able. Be grateful. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for where you're at. Because see, when God opens up your prosperity, and God opens up your abundance, when God opens up His great heaven, the blessings poured upon your life, never forget what that struggle taught you. Because a lot of times people be like, man, I see it. You know what I'm saying? You got the big house and all that. No. I tell you why I got my abundance at. You want me to show you? I take you back to that small house and 3 bedrooms, and yada yada and yada yada. Cause see, when you start being grateful for where you at while you're in the struggle, you got it all right there. You got it all right there. Right here. In the heart. Right there. When you realize you got it right there, game over. Can't nothing stop it. I just want to let y'all know what's real. I want to tell y'all something what's period. We're doing kingdom work. God has blessed us tremendously, and still blessing us. Blessing us even with the blessings we can't even see. And I just want to let you know, like, never give up on your dreams. Please don't, please don't, please don't. Ever, never ever give up on your dreams. Don't ever do it. But that's not the plan God has for your life. God didn't give you the plans to bow down. He didn't give you the plans to break. He didn't do that. He gave you the plans to put it into action and to grow. And I love y'all. I do. I love y'all to death. Don't ever give up. If you feel like giving up, if you're crying, if you're on bended knee, if you're crying, don't cry to give up. Get a reward from it. You already hurting. See it through. See it through. See it through. Guys, I'm about to get out of here. But I just want to come to y'all. I just want to share a video. I just want to pour out my heart. I just want to give y'all something real, something raw, something uncut. Like, get after it. If it's in you, get after it. Because Lord knows if it's in you, it's definitely can pour out of you. And pour into somebody else. Share your journey. Don't be out here feeling miserable and sad alone. Share your journey. Rub elbow with some positive people. Some people that's going to lift you and encourage you and push you. Hold you up when you leaning. Connect with me. Like on all social media platforms. Byron Speaking Revolution. We on Facebook. We on Instagram. We on Twitter. Please go to our YouTube channel, Byron Speaking Revolution. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I love y'all. I love y'all. If y'all don't hear from nobody else, if you don't hear from mama and daddy, sister, brother, uncle, auntie, grandma, and grandpa, just know Byron Smith Jr. and LaDamian Goree loved you. We love you. If you never hear it again, we love you. Expressions of love, agape of love. We love you. To God be the glory, always and forever. First and foremost, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. All praise go to the Most High because He's the one that gets the glory before the story. I love y'all. This is Byron coming from Byron Speaking Revolution. Tuning in, checking out.